Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Now with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. Lots of stuff to get into. Congratulations, first and foremost, to the reigning, defending 2-time NBA champions on a quest to three-peat. That would be the Golden State Warriors, who knocked off the Portland Trail Blazers in an OT win last night, 119-117 in overtime. Steph Curry ended up dropping 37 points. He had a triple-double. Draymond Green, he also had a triple-double. 2 teammates, 2 members of the starting 5, both had triple-doubles, knocking off the Portland Trail Blazers. Props to Damian Lillard, who played hurt and injured. Obviously, C.J. McCollum didn't have the greatest series in the world, but I think he's a stud. I think he's arrived on the scene as somebody who is special that we should keep our eyes on in the years to come because he's a special talent. I love me some Damian Lillard. And even though, Steph Curry had a better series, and I think Steph Curry is the better point guard and the better player, to me, it doesn't take away from the reality and the fact that Damian Lillard had a better year. Considering the circumstances, I think he did more with less, and to me, he deserves first team All-NBA. But there is only one Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter this game has ever seen as far as I'm concerned. He's the greatest shooter that I've ever seen in my lifetime. He warrants discussion as to one of the greatest players of all time because of those realities. Klay Thompson and him make up the best shooting backcourt I have ever seen. And I have to tell y'all this as I'm sitting here because I'm doing the show from Toronto, Canada. Yes, I did have to go through customs. Yes, they kept me for 90 damn minutes. Yes, I'm unapologetic about the fact that I am actually rooting against the Toronto Raptors because as fabulous as I think this city is phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. It is a gorgeous mosaic personified. It is a mosaic the likes of, dare I say something you have never seen. It is special in Toronto, but I digress. Getting here is a problem. Getting here is a problem, and I'm not getting away from that. Now, listen, I'm an American citizen, okay? And I understand that, getting into the country is supposed to be difficult, but damn it, I didn't think getting into Canada was going to be that difficult, but it is. And I don't have global entry. And boy, did I pay for it yesterday. I know I'm whining. I know I'm complaining. I don't give a damn. I told y'all. How is it that I'm on a plane full of people coming from New York to Toronto, Canada, and I'm the only individual on the entire flight that they sent to the immigration line? How'd that happen? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the only dude. Me. I was on the plane. I'm the only dude that they sent to the immigration line. They must have been watching me on television and hear me on radio and said, we're going to put him through this on purpose. I'm trying to tell you. I landed here 2.5 hours before I got to my hotel. That's how long it took me to get through customs, to the baggage claim, to get my luggage, then had to go to some spot to wait for my car service and all of that other stuff. Utterly ridiculous. I don't deserve this. And that's why I'm not going to root for the Toronto Raptors. Hopefully this is my last trip here for this season because by next year I'll have global entry and won't have to go through this nonsense. But I digress. Neither here nor there. Let me get back to the point of my discussion. Looking at this series with Toronto and Milwaukee, I was of the mindset that if you're the Golden State Warriors, you needed Kevin Durant to win the finals. After watching Golden State, albeit against Portland, I'm not so sure that is true. It almost seems to me it don't matter who the hell the Warriors are playing. They're just a well-oiled machine. They're capable of amping it up at any given moment, any damn time they want. It's just inescapable. Steph Curry is such a phenomenal shooter. Klay Thompson, who didn't shoot that great in this series. It seemed like every pressure shot that mattered, he made them. Draymond Green, you see how fast he looks pushing the ball up the floor, being the point forward that he is? You see that? And then we got guys coming off the bench. McKinney, Looney, Cook. They're giving you quality minutes. And they are balling. Jordan Bell right away. Look, man, I mean, Sean Livingston. Andre Iguodala was hurt last night. Even though he played, I'm just looking at them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you right now, this is something special to behold. You cannot summarily dismiss what you have seen from the Golden State Warriors. And right now, I'm literally at a loss, wondering who the hell's going to beat them. Because I don't think they could be beat. I'm just watching them right now. They're a well-oiled machine. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's not be stupid and act like they are better. They are better without Kevin Durant. Let's not be stupid, because that's just sacrilegious. Let's not be dumb. But I will tell you that I'm incredibly impressed with Steve Kerr. I'm incredibly impressed with this coaching staff. To have these dudes ready, and for these dudes to barely play during the regular season and to show up and show out the way that they did last night, I can't say enough about them. I really, really can't. I kind of felt bad for Portland. Again, Lillard isn't 100%. He dropped 28 and 12, but on 45% shooting. And CJ McCollum showed up last night with 26 points on 45% shooting as well. And this kid, Myers Leonard, dropped 30, 25 in the first half. But the reality is that they lost to a better team. Portland was just completely overmatched because you can't afford to make mistakes. You can't afford to make mistakes. It is what it is. Portland is a good team, but Golden State is special. And they're about to three-peat. And I've said it before, their inspiration is their last hurrah at the Oracle. I didn't think they were going to lose before going to the finals, and that's what I see here as well. So it is what it is. This is what we're looking at here. And right now, I really, really want to know how y'all feel. First of all, do you believe somebody can knock off the Golden State Warriors? I believe that team will be Milwaukee facing them in the finals. But do you believe Milwaukee or Toronto can beat this team? And if so, how you going to pull it off? And do you believe they're a team that doesn't need Kevin Durant? I still say they do. Which is why I don't have a problem. And oh, by the way, speaking of Kevin Durant, let me be very clear. Kevin Durant made news yesterday because my buddy Chris Broussard has his own radio show on Fox Sports, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker. These are two of my lifelong buddies in this business. So there's an extra level of affection and love that I have for both of them. They are not colleagues. They are friends and brothers. So yes, I compete against them. They had a different network and all that other stuff. But in the interest of full disclosure, y'all need to understand that while if I was in the same time slot as them and I was going up against them, I would try to take them out. Make no mistake about it, because that's just what I do. But understand, they're my brothers and I love them. They are my friends. And I'm incredibly proud of what they're doing, working with one another right now. Having said all of that, Chris Broussard made news by talking about Kevin Durant and how the way the Golden State Warriors are looking, this is Kevin Durant's worst nightmare. Then Kevin Durant put up a tweet basically questioning, really, this is my worst nightmare, bro? Sort of knocking down that theory, debunking that theory or whatever. I agree with Kevin Durant. I don't agree with Chris Broussard. It's not his worst nightmare. See, here's the problem, and this is the problem that I have, and this is why I have to come to the defense of Kevin Durant. There is no one that was more critical than me of Kevin Durant going from OKC to Golden State. At the time, I called it the weakest move I'd ever seen by a superstar. And although I apologize on national television to his mama, because I love me some Mama Durant. She's a special lady. I love her, okay? The reality of the situation is I'm glad I apologize, because people have misconstrued what I said to indict Kevin Durant's abilities, which I think should require immediate drug testing. The fact of the matter is this: Kevin Durant, to me right now, is arguably the greatest player on the planet Earth. He's an unstoppable offensive force, plus he defends now. Hits clutch shots, scores in bunches, can drop 30 in his sleep. You know who he is. Y'all know who he is. You heard him say it. He's Kevin freaking Durant. Now, my problem is, as I explained to him when he and I ultimately talked about it, my problem was he's so great, he so dramatically shifted the balance of power in the NBA that it made it unfair to everybody else. And for a year, I had no interest in watching basketball for the first time in my life. Because there was no competition. Because I knew Cleveland or anybody else could not compete with him. That's why when LeBron won the Eastern Conference Finals in Boston, and he was asked by our very own Doris Burke a couple of years ago, Kevin Durant's first in Golden State, he talked about the battle coming up against Golden State. LeBron sat up there with the trophy in his hand, so I really don't want to think about that right now. I'm just in a good mood, and I don't want to even stress myself by thinking about that. He gave a damn concession speech on national television before the NBA Finals even started, which I thought was ridiculous. Figure out a way to go out there and go at it. But I also understood the reality of the situation. Kevin Durant is that great. He's that great that people walking around acting like, excuse me, you don't need Kevin Durant. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Now, understand when you look at Golden State, you might see guys playing a little better together and all of this other stuff. There's more distribution of the basketball. Steph Curry can step up and be more aggressive with shot selection as opposed to being more judicious and diplomatic because he's got two other people to share with. Draymond Green doesn't have to sacrifice as much as his offensive game in order to facilitate things for the Kevin Durant and to a lesser degree the Boogie Cousins. I get all of that. But here's how I think everybody's looking at it backwards. Did it ever occur to everybody that Kevin Durant is so great? That's why you have to modify things. It's not like you have to modify things to make the team better. Kevin Durant is so phenomenal. Kevin Durant is so great. That's why modification is necessary. Because if he wasn't that great, then you bring him on board. All right, figure out a way to fit in with Steph and Clay. But no, Steph and Clay had to figure out how to get Kevin Durant fitted in. Kevin Durant didn't go to Golden State begging the Warriors to come. Iguodala and Draymond and Steph and Clay, they went to the Hamptons. They flew to the Hamptons to talk Kevin Durant into coming to Golden State. What y'all talking about here? That's what they did. What you doing that for? You know why? Because you had lost the championship to Cleveland, even though it was via a stimulus package given to Cleveland by Adam Silver in the NBA league office by suspending Draymond Green for that bogus kick after LeBron James shoved him to the floor. But that's neither here nor there. In the end, what it comes down to is Kevin Durant is so great, he's so phenomenal, that you felt compelled to make adjustments and modifications to appease him. You know why? Because it don't matter where Kevin Durant is. He always going to give you 27 a night. On 49% shooting or better. On 38% shooting from three or better. That's Kevin Durant. And let's not get that twisted. Now on a different subject that I wanted to broach. Because it's necessary. Earvin Magic Johnson, 5-time champion, one of the greatest NBA players we've ever seen in our lifetime. That Earvin Magic Johnson, also the former president of basketball operations for the Los Angeles Lakers, Magic Johnson showed up on my television show, First Take, which airs on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific. Magic showed up on First Take, live in studio in New York yesterday. And although we expected him to be somewhat candid about the things that had transpired during his tenure as Lakers president, we certainly weren't expecting what he delivered. He could not have been more candid. He used the word backstab and betrayal when it came to Rob Pelinka. He talked about Jeannie Buss having too many people in her ear, too many people in her face, trying to influence decisions. Magic Johnson talked about the COO, Tim Harris of the Los Angeles Lakers, who's supposed to be on the business side, getting too involved on the basketball side. He talked about a lot of different things. And in the end, it gave the impression, the feeling that the Lakers were an organization in flux. They reeked of dysfunctionality. They're clearly not on the same pages all the time. Emotions are ruling the day instead of smart business decisions. And your general manager, who's now your de facto president of basketball operations, wanted the position all along and was backstabbing Magic Johnson to get it. Obviously, Rob Pelinka, the general manager for the Los Angeles Lakers, has an entirely different take. He believes his relationship with Magic Johnson was very good. He doesn't believe he backstabbed Magic in any way. He said that it's simply not true. Said that he and Magic have a good relationship, etc., etc. Couple of things to say about all of that. Number one, understand something. Magic will smile in your face. Magic will do business with you. Magic will not hold grudges. It does not mean he trusts you, nor does it mean he particularly likes you. So if Rob Pelinka didn't know that, he needs to know it now. That's point number one. Point number two, the biggest thing that's gnawing away at Magic Johnson is this notion that he was some part-time dude that never wanted to work. Magic Johnson asked a very, very interesting question. And most folks ain't going to say this. Well, I'm going to say it, damn it, because I feel like it. How do you become a Hall of Famer and a 5-time champion? And how do you go from that to becoming a very, very successful businessman? By being lazy? How does that happen? You see, that's a rhetorical question because it's BS. And the reality is that it's a level of BS that's perpetuated about black men far too often. Yeah, I'm going there. If you want to rake the nerves of a hard-working black man, question his ethics from a work ethic perspective and watch what happens. Look throughout history, and it's one of the things that has plagued our community on many, many occasions. The stigmas and stereotypes that are rife with inaccuracies about effort-related matters. Like folks don't want to work. You want me to tell you who hates lazy black people more than anybody in the world? Black people who ain't lazy. Because we believe we are aware of the stereotypes and the stigmas that are out there. And when anybody comes along and gives credence to it, emanating from our community, they're ostracized. We have no patience for them. You think as white folks, as Latinos, and beyond that you don't have any patience for black people. Why don't you get around some black people that see some lazy black person and watch the level of patience that they have for that black person? It's zero. Because we understand that we're battling stigmas and stereotypes every single day. And when anybody from our community gives credence to that kind of argument, we believe it taints the many. And we instantly want to distance ourselves from you. We don't even want to recognize you as one of us. Because it's appalling to us. Just like this notion of folks with criminal behavior. You know who puts black people in jail more than anybody? Black people. Because we don't have any patience for it. But that story's never told. Remember the notion in America particularly? Even though I'm in Canada at this particular moment, I'm going to talk about America. Remember the notion in America, a jury of your peers? Who the hell you think put black people in jail? It's black people. So the level of tolerance that we have for stuff far exceeds or pales in comparison, rather, to your level of tolerance. So if you're Magic Johnson, why is this relevant? Because that's one of the things that grossly offends him. He signs a deal to become Lake president of basketball operations. He never needed his job. He was making more money doing stuff other than the Lakers' job. Jeanie Buss comes to him. He goes to Jeanie. He says, look, this is the role I'm going to play. You picked the GM already. You want Rob Pelinka as your GM. You want Linda Rambis in your ear. You want Tim Harris as your CEO. You want to listen to him about basketball-related matters, along with a plethora of other people, because it's a family-oriented business. And you care about these people, and what they say matters to you, even though they might not know a damn thing about basketball for all we know. I'm not saying they do or don't. I'm just saying hypothetically, they may not know anything about basketball, certainly compared to him. So he said, okay, you don't want me to hire my own staff. I'd like to hire my own people. But since you want to do it this way, let's understand something. Let them go out, pound the pavement, bring the best quality information before me, and based on that, I will make a decision as to what direction we need to go in. How is that lazy, ladies and gentlemen? How is that being a part-time employee? If responsibilities have been allocated, what's the problem? Everybody want to act like, oh my goodness, you can't be doing but so many jobs. Why not? We do it in this business. I don't see ESPN saying, Stephen A., we want you to just do one job. I don't see ESPN saying, Will Kane, you got your nice radio show. Stick to that. Don't show up on First Take. Last time I checked, Max Kellerman had a boxing show. What's he on First Take for? You think, Jimmy, you think the boss of ESPN or the executive VPs got one job, a one-dimensional job? How about Fox? How about Comcast? How about ABC, NBC, CBS? You think people got one job? You know what I mean? Responsibilities, people showed up. How come Magic Johnson couldn't do that? Why all of a sudden is it beyond the realms of comprehension that, oh my God, one of the greatest basketball players to have ever lived, it's asking too much of him for us to bring him solid basketball information and for him to be an overseer making basketball decisions while still being a businessman? How is that beyond the pale? The answer is that it's not. Folks just try to make it seem that way because you want to dictate and limit what people can do and what they're allowed to do. And then when they transcend beyond realms that you've designed for them, you accuse them of being undisciplined. You accuse them of being unfocused. You accuse them of being lazy and part-time workers. Good luck with that. Because Magic Johnson did a few things wrong. And I'm willing to concede that. But when it comes to that issue, I'm here to tell you, he has a damn warrior fighting on his behalf. And his name will be Stephen A. Smith. I'm not going to sit idly by and allow people to do that to him. Call him whatever you want. But don't imply that he's lazy. And that he's part-time because he wasn't in the Lakers facility when his damn offices look better than most of the suites in the Staples Center. Don't do that. Don't act like you can. Rob Pelinka, make up your mind. You said you had a good relationship with him. Said y'all talked all the time. Then what is everybody doing implying that he was asleep on the job or couldn't be reached or something? Which one is it? How about you, Jeanie Buss? Your sister. I've got a few issues with some of the decisions that Magic Johnson made as president of basketball operations. Work ethic ain't one of them. I always knew he was an overseer. He made that very, very clear. It was somebody else's job to pound the pavement, not his. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. That was Straight Talk Wireless. Everything for less, only at Walmart. We'll get to your calls and more in a minute. It's me and you, the callers for today. I don't need no damn guest. I'm in Toronto. You got a Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals going on tonight. So I'm not going anywhere, and I'm ready to take y'all phone calls at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio and ESPN News. By the way, let's talk about Chad. Last year, he was working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet, barely staying above water. In February, Chad started his information technology career, making more money, doing something he loves. Don't love what you do? Go to my